It's just you and me now, Megatron.
Then you better get some help, Prime.
Oh no, I've been waiting for this chance. Only one of us is going back, Megatron.
It won't be you, Prime.
Hello and welcome to this rather late review of Transformers masterpiece MP-10 Convoy, or Optimus Prime. I'm Chris McLeod, aka Diagnostik80, and I'll be bash-hatting my way through this video today to show you this reissued Takara Tomy product sponsored by In Demand Toys. Let's start with a quick background of the character. So I couldn't do a Megatron video and then not even acknowledge the fact that we had a reissue of this glorious around the same time. I looked deep into the history and psyche of the Decepticons head honcho, the last run out, so now it's Prime's turn. As icons go, you could put him in the same room as Superman, Captain America, Wonder Woman, Luke Skywalker and Duke in terms of beacons for the moral good. If it was a classroom, it would be full of apples and hall monitors, but seriously, Prime has always had that goody two-shoes demeanour while simultaneously commanding respect and being a general bad. He leads from the front, and that is why he garners so much adoration from his soldiers and followers. Let's avoid the Bay movies for the time being, yeah? His origins, like Megatron's, vary depending on the vast amount of different continuities that the Transformers have had. In the Marvel comic, he was a gladiator champion from Iacon and worked his way into the Autobot hierarchy once Megatron had started the war. He purposely crashed the Ark into Earth when Megatron attacked their ship 4 million years prior and continued the fight there to his regret. In the Dreamwave continuity, his name was Optronics, or Orion to those close to him, and he was a data archivist in the vaults on Cybertron. After Megatron defeated Sentinel Prime, the Council of Ancients informed Optronics that the Matrix of Leadership had chosen him and he got a shiny new body. In the IDW continuity, he was a police captain from Rodion named Orion Pax, and after meeting Megatron prior to him becoming the leader of the Decepticons, had a revelation and confronted the corrupt Senate whereby he reclaimed the previously derogatory term Autobot, or A-word, not that A-word. The cartoon also had a different origin for Orion Pax. This time he was a dock worker, and he had a girlfriend called Ariel, not the Little Mermaid. Future Megatron went back in time and destroyed them both, but don't fear, nobody ever really dies in these things. Alpha Trion restored them both into powerful warriors, Optimus Prime and Elita 1. After millions of years of war, Prime and the Autobots attempted to mount an expedition to find energy sources on other planets due to almost exhausting all of their energy supplies on Cybertron, and were followed by the Decepticons. They attacked the Autobot ship, the Ark, which crashed into a volcano on prehistoric Earth, rendering all the bots on board offline. The volcano erupted 4 million years later, kickstarted Teletran 1, who began restoring everyone, thus continuing the long war between the A-words and the D-words. In the 1986 animated movie, Prime was part of the reinforcements sent to Earth to help during the Battle of Autobot City. After turning up and taking a few names, he ends up battling Megatron to the death. A scene so devastating, no pun intended, that children were left sobbing in the theatres around the world. This led to changes in the G.I. Joe movie the following year, where they had Duke killed off only to overdub a new fate for the Joe's first sergeant, making it a coma instead.
He's gone into a coma.
Falcon, don't worry. We'll do everything we can for Duke. Yo, Joe.
Later episodes of the cartoon, Five Faces of Darkness Part 4, had Prime appear as a spirit guide for Rodimus, who was searching for information about the Quintessons. In the episode Dark Awakening, the Q-words reanimated Prime's body for use against the Autobots. During a battle with Rodimus, the Matrix overpowered the control the Quintessons had over this zombie Prime, and he sacrificed himself by flying solo into a Quintesson bomb, detonating a sun that appeared to destroy Prime all over again. Don't worry though, he's still not dead. His life force returned to the Matrix and he appeared as a spirit ghosty, again this time for Galvatron in the episode The Burden Hardest to Bear, forcing him to give back the Matrix to its rightful owner. Prime was eventually resurrected in the episode Return of Optimus Prime Part 1, oddly enough. Bit of a spoiler right there in the title, but just as kids had gotten over the anguish of losing one of their biggest cartoon and toy icons, here he was, just turning up again as if nothing happened. Somehow, Prime's body had been recovered by two human scientists, Jessica Morgan and Jeremy Swofford, moments before his ship had crashed into the Quintessons trap. The Decepticons attempted to steal a heat-resistant alloy from the scientists, which, as a result, paralysed Jessica, and as revenge they sought to lure the Decepticons into a trap by using Prime's body as a delivery system for mysterious spores that spread hatred and madness that had been created when the sun exploded previously. Still following? I'm not. The Autobots were lured in and infected with the hate plague except Rodimus Prime, who escaped with Optimus's body. He tasked Skylynx with finding a Quintesson who could reanimate Prime and later became infected. Skylynx prevailed and Prime was born again. In Part 2, Prime took charge of the A-Words again and attacked the Decepticons in order to use the heat-resistant alloy they stole as a shield against the plague. Now protected, he defeated Rodimus in battle and took the Matrix back using its wisdom to wipe out the plague. Yay! Oh yeah, then he died again in the Headmaster's cartoon, sacrificing himself once again, this time merging with the computer to stabilise Vector Sigma in the episode Birth of the Fantastic Double Prime. Jeez man, they attempted to bring him back again in the Super God Master Force cartoon, but it wasn't until the Unite Warriors comic that he was successfully reborn again. Stay dead for f***'s sake. And I like the guy. According to Transformers lore creator Bob Budiansky, Denny O'Neil gave Optimus Prime his name prior to Budiansky being brought in for the project. Optimus is Latin for best, so his name can literally be translated as best first. What's Latin for won't stay dead? Apparently it's non maniet mortuis. Non maniet mortuis Prime it is. His often coined Orion Pax name used prior to becoming Optimus Prime is a combination of the huntsman from Greek mythology, Orion, and Pax, which is Latin for peace. His cartoon design bears a more than passing resemblance to a piece of concept art for Ultra Magnus seen here. Another cute anecdote relating to Prime was that he was supposed to appear in the My Little Pony movie. According to screenwriter extraordinaire Buzz Dixon, the ponies would ask Prime to help them, but he would let them down, somehow forcing the ponies to enlist the help of a drunken shipwreck from G.I. Joe. Hasbro requested that this part of the script was removed for obvious reasons, but my goodness, I would have watched the shit out of that movie. To make sure I don't kill myself with the toys, I'm leaving out pretty much everything that doesn't transform into a G1 style truck mode. No Beast Wars again, as I did with Megatron for the same reasons, not technically the same character, and I've already looked at Primal in a much older video. So let's just stick to the rest then, shall we? In Japan he was named Convoy after the Diaclone battle convoy he was based on. They kept the Convoy name up until the live action movies due to Convoy being easier to pronounce in Japan. Most adult themed Prime Transformer collectibles in Japan still use the Convoy name, just like the masterpiece I'm looking at today. As I mentioned before, the original 1984 Generation 1 toy was taken from the 1983 Diaclone Battle Convoy release, with some ever so slight changes, like removing the Diaclone text from the trailer and taking the tiny pilots away. This toy has been reissued so many times that I will need to find a wormhole in space to save time. So this original toy is released in 1984, 1985 and 1986. In that initial period, he was subject to a number of running changes and variations, and even got a red-footed version in certain European countries. He gets a Transformers Junior figure in 1985, and then again in 1987 and 1989 in the Cybertron Heroes set, and the 5 Years of Leaders set respectively. Coming back to 1985, a Pepsi promotional version was released, and in the same year a Japanese exclusive Convoy vs Megatron set. In 1986 he came out in a multi-pack to commemorate his passing in the film and was packaged with Ligier, Mirage, and Alert, Red Alert. It's probably worth noting that this Prime mould was used for Ultra Magnus in the same year with an all-white repaint. In 1988, Prime returned as a Power Master and could now transform using his trailer to create a bigger, badder, more powerful Prime. He received an Action Master in 1990 before getting a re-release of the original mode once again. But just so you know, I won't be looking at the long nose trucks in this either, so this inclusion is just to tell you I won't be including him. Amazing. He got a G2 upgrade in 1993 and 1994, Machine Wars OP Ultra in 1997, a Convoy reissue, Convoy Black issue and Convoy Gold version all in 2000, a Choro Q Robo in 2001 and a metallic version in the same year, Nucleon Quest Super Convoy 2001 Power Master, Commemorative Series 2002 and again in 2012, a New Year's Special Convoy in 2002, Power Master with Apex Armor in 2003, which was a repainted Japanese exclusive Ginrai tooling Power Master, a Transformers Collection Convoy in 2003, smallest transforming Transformers Convoy in the same year that had an anime version, a Convoy White version, and was included in a multi-pack with Megatron, all in 2004. The original Masterpiece toy was made for the 20th anniversary of the Transformers brand, and Takara released their version slightly earlier as the first toy in their Masterpiece range. MP-10 2003 and 2004 repainted white for Ultra Magnus in 2004, 2005, 2008. MP-10 Lucky Draw 2004, MP-10 20th Anniversary of the Movie DVD Edition 2006, MP-4 Convoy Perfect Edition 2006 and again in 2009, MP-4S Convoy Sleep Mode 2010, MP-1B Convoy Black version Nemesis Prime 2010, MP-1L Convoy Last Production 2011, then we get the new Masterpiece Convoy MP-10 mould first seen in 2011, then Hasbro True Exclusive 2012-2014, MP-10B Black Convoy Nemesis Prime 2013, Hasbro Platinum Edition Year of the Horse 2014, MP-10A Convoy Bape version Green 2014, MP-10 Convoy Mode Ava 2014, MP-10R Convoy Bape Red Camo version 2015, MP-10 SG Shattered Glass Prime 2016, Mini Diecast figure with MP-33 Inferno in 2016, MP-10K Convoy Bape Black Camo version 2017, and finally, this reissue we are looking at today. Rewinding back to 2004, and we get the Robot Masters Convoy as well as a slightly repainted version that came with the DVD of the first episode of the Robot Masters cartoon. The following year saw a black repainted version and a lucky draw release whose colour was decided by having an art contest for children via an issue of TV magazine. The winning entry was incredible. Look at those colours. Only 10 of these were produced for fear of starting a global nuclear war. Fans have nicknamed him Crayola Convoy for obvious reasons, because you can't eat them. The mould was reused again in 2014 for the Legend Commander collection. 2004 also saw a mini Toy Shop collection Convoy, Hybrid Style Convoy 2006 and then repainted as Convoy Black version in the same year, a black/gold version in 2013 and then a redeco for the Year of the Rooster edition in 2017. 2006 also brought us the Classics mould, which has seen lots of use so far. Ultra Magnus 2007, Timeline Shattered Glass, Nemesis Prime, Henkai Convoy, a clear version and a lucky draw version all in 2008. United Ultra Magnus 2012, United Black Optimus Prime 2012, Cloud Optimus Prime 2014, Age of Extinction 2-pack 2014, Timelines Night Ginrai 2014, Platinum Edition One Shall Stand One Shall Fall 2-pack 2016 and Magna Convoy. A different Classics Optimus Prime was released in a DVD multi-pack in 2006, in a 2-pack Walmart exclusive Leader for the Ages set in 2007, and on his own slightly redecoed in 2008 and 2010. A return to the G1 again for another Pepsi release in 2007 and a straight up re-release of the original for the Encore series. 2007 also saw Prime as an iPod speaker dock, albeit in all white like that first version of Ultra Magnus. A number of repaints followed in 2008, in his original colours and in a rather bizarre nod to Japanese pop band Exile and an exclusive to LDH shop. 2007 also brought us a Japanese exclusive Diablock Convoy that can be transformed without being disassembled first. In 2008 we get yet another reissue of the G1 toy, this time with a comic DVD and sound effects module, Sons of Cybertron 2010, 2011 Chronicle EZ Collection Convoy and then again for Wave 2 the same year with a G2 insignia instead of the previous G1, and black where it once was blue. This figure pops up again in the Easy Collection Gum series in 2012 and once more in 2014 with a clear black and red plastic deco for the Lost Age series. 2011 got a Creo that year as a mini Creon and as a full-on set. The Creo figures kept coming in 2013 as a custom Creon with a weapons rack that also saw release in Japan in Gacha Capsule toy machines in 2014. I shouldn't include it, but Orion Pax as a mini Creon in 2014, Elite Optimus Prime 2014, in the Creon class of 1984 set 2014 SDCC exclusive, and then finally as a Battle Changer in 2015 on his own, and then later in a 2-pack with a few slight changes, his trailer and Battle Changer Megatron the same year. He gets a Legends class in 2011 and then again in 2012 with a slightly different paint scheme before getting a completely new Legends figure in 2013 packed with Autobot Roller. This new mould gets reused again in Japan in a 2-pack with Bumblebee, 2014 for Nemesis Prime, a random Legion class Prime the same year, Generations Huffer in 2015 and Generations Autobot Pipes the same year. The clothing line Bape used the original Convoy reissue, this time in 2011 for a new take on their exclusives, and made 2 more exclusives, Black in 2012 and Red Camo in 2013. There's a Bot Shot launcher in 2013, then a new style Bot Shot included with the Dragon Track set the same year. He gets another new mould for the Cyber series, Optimus Prime Cyber Battalion figure in 2015, 2015 that saw a sale exclusively on Big Bad Toy Store and then later in Asia and Latin America, as well as Universal Studios Theme Park as an exclusive. Hero Masher 2014, re-released the same year with different accessories. Bear Brick 2014, Optimus Prime Pen 2014, which is covered in hilarious fashion by Thew over on his amazing YouTube channel. Seriously, check him out if you haven't already. If you haven't, you must have just this second been born. Nanoblock Motion Choro Q 2014, a Q Transformer in 2015, Combiner Wars Optimus Prime 2015, which gets a ton of use that year alone for Combiner Wars Motormaster, Combiner Wars Battle Core Optimus Prime, Combiner Wars Generation 2 Motormaster, and in Japan as Unite Warriors Motormaster and Unite Warriors Grand Scourge. Japan used the mould again in 2016 for Unite Warriors Convoy, and the Transformers Collectors Club used it for their figure subscription service 5.0 with Combiner Wars Wrecker Toxitron in 2017. Combiner Wars Ultra Magnus gets a heavy retool and repaint for this next version of Prime, which makes a nice change for Titan's Return Autobot Apex and Power Master Optimus Prime in 2016, with Japan rejigging it once more as Super Ginrai. It doesn't stop there. In 2017 there's a Titans Returns Magnus Prime, a collaboration project with Primitive Skateboarding for the, yes you guessed it, Primitive Skateboarding Prime, and then in a Japanese God Ginrai gift set. Easy for me to say. He becomes a power bank for a Hascon exclusive, gets an Authentics version, and the absolute final Prime that was released to this point appears in the Power of the Primes range as a brand new build that includes an Orion Pax mode that becomes a full-on Prime when combined with his trailer. There are two Japanese infobar cell phone style Primes, but that's pushing it for inclusion here, even though I just included them. There are even more to come as well, as Takara Tomy have revealed another masterpiece redeco, this time in collaboration with 7-Eleven. Wow, thank the f***ing Overlord Cthulhu. That was a long segment. Apologies if any of you fell into a coma during that part, it won't get any better. Let's look at this f***ing toy. Here we go then, the usual box style, it's Hossin Massive this one, Convoy on the front as explained in the coma-inducing segment. If you fell asleep during that part, just go back 10 hours and watch it again. Flip it over and we see all the cool poses and all the accessories that come with this bad boy. Slide out the contents carefully and Prime is displayed very attractively upright in robot mode with his trailer and other bits by his side. A quick slice of the tape surrounding the plastic cocoon and I can get to all the stuff. A mini Spike Witwicky figure with minimal articulation whose lower leg pops off at the knee when bent too far, or normally. His cool ion blaster that can fold up and spring to action when needed. His orange Energon axe from the G1 cartoon episode More Than Meets the Eye Part 2 that can be placed over his right hand like so. Roller, whose back panel folds down to allow a connector to be exposed for use when lugging the trailer. Poor little bugger. Prime's massive trailer and Prime himself, of course. He seems better in some way than his previous MP-10 releases and reissues, sturdier, stronger joints, etc. He is beautifully proportioned and his deco is so vibrant. I love this version of the Autobots Commander-in-Chief and I'm glad I finally had the classic deco of him to lead the rest of my Autobot team. Let's not forget his Japanese QR code leaflet that is basically a door into the dark soul of our ruler and overlord Cthulhu. One of the most solid collector's cards you will ever find, ever. Seriously, 6 10s and 2 8s, although they could be scores for bed making and anal bleaching for all I know. I have 10s in both of those categories, by the way. And his instruction pamphlet. Not the Bible that Megatron's is, but still a good size and has a cute history of Convoy on the back. Should have just flashed that up rather than go through the painstaking process at the beginning of this video. Let's transform this cultural icon before the Matrix consumes us all.
Autobots, transform and roll out!
He looks beautiful in truck mode, and even though there are no side doors, the windscreen section splits open for access to the seats inside. You know, like all vehicles do. Spike can slot in pretty comfortably. In previous incarnations the legs in truck mode have been loose, but they peg in much better here. And he is nice and tight in all areas. In robot mode, his ion blaster folds up and can be stored in his back compartment, which was a great feature on this mould and has been prominent in all the previous versions. The chest compartment that houses the Matrix closes well this time, much better than all the previous incarnations for me personally. His violently sharp head antenna can be moved around independently from each other, so you can make it look like he's actually listening to something you have to say. Spike can be placed in Roller so you can pretend he can drive him, just don't do that around other people or they'll think you're nuts. Roller can have the ion blaster attached and he can lug the trailer, which is a pretty mean feat if you think about it. The trailer is pretty awesome. It has fold-out legs that keep it sturdy in battle platform mode, and two smaller struts that pop out at the front to keep it upright. The two rear doors open and close, which isn't groundbreaking of course, that's what you expect doors to do, and the whole thing folds open to reveal tons of detail and features. There's an extendable robot cockpit with extendable pincer, and whatever that is, as well as two other stations for Spike to sit at. The ramp slides out for Roller to hoss up, and you can fold down two pieces on the roof of the trailer so the extendable cockpit can stay erect. The trailer can be placed upright to become a maintenance deck, which is so cool and makes for a really awesome diorama display. The blaster and axe can be stored in this mode as well, so all the accessories are accounted for pretty much. I love that about my toys. When the figure can hold all of the weapons and added extras, it makes for a very satisfying experience. Satisfaction boners all round for this one. In conclusion, this is a must-own toy. If you have any of the multitude of earlier releases of this guy, then that totally works. But if, like me, you for some unknown reason hadn't picked up an original Deco MP-10, then firstly, you're an idiot, and I can say that because I was in your position and I'm the biggest idiot around, and secondly, you have a perfect opportunity to rectify that now. The only problems on this figure are the ever-annoying first finger joints that love to just pop out whenever I cast a surly glance over at their general direction, and Spike's rubbish articulation. That's it. This thing is fantastic, and considering I'm blarting on about his epicness when I already have the Ava and Shattered primes that share the exact same tooling, then that is saying something. I can't believe I've waited this long to finally get an original Deco Prime in my Masterpiece collection, especially considering the amount of releases he has had in that colour scheme over recent years. As much as I love my Ava Prime, this one has snuck into the lead for me as my Prime. No Primos currently in stock at www.idtoys.co.uk, which is basically my fault for taking so long to do this video, but Toys R Us are releasing a Hasbro version soon and the MP-10B will be coming, so go ahead and pre-order him on the site. Make sure you check out the Facebook page and Instagram account. Alternatively, you can find us at a number of shows throughout the year, or even, perish the thought, visit the shop at the Dixon Shopping Centre in Norwich on the Reefham Road. Just tell them they're pretty, they are very insecure. And a special thank you to the Space Bridge for providing some of the video footage for today's review. Make sure you visit their page by searching at the Space Bridge on Facebook. Thanks for watching this review, and be sure to catch me doing this again very soon for the Starscream reissue, Artfire, and many more Masterpiece figures. I have been Chris McLeod, and you have done well to get to the end of this video without seeking legal counsel to sue me for never getting that time back ever again.
You can't handle the truth!